Previously on Spectating. So I'm wondering if I actually belong in my rank. This is fine, by the way, setting up in their backline. I like this. I like what you're doing. This is actually correct play. Because you're going to pull them back to the point, right? This is actually not as bad as you think it is. You have the right idea. You're on the flank now. This is fine. You're on the right target. So far, so good. Doesn't have to be amazing either, by the way. I don't know. I'm not really noticing anything too, like... Keep in mind, I'm going to point out, this is a gold game. I think so far you're playing fine. Pulse bomb miss? We all do that. Okay, I miss my pulse bombs every time. If I hit a pulse bomb, I'm surprised. And I can do this probably sometimes when I'm playing DPS. I think you're being a bit too harsh on your DPS. I'll be honest with you. I think you're not as bad as you think you are. Where are they now? All right, so today's video, we're going to be recording a Where Are They Now, where we're watching a player we've already seen, and we're going to guess where their new rank is at. Previously, they were Gold 3 on DPS 5 months ago, and this was the tracer that talked about how they didn't think they deserved their rank, and you can see that kind of in their plays, where they had good mechanics, but they weren't quite going for the plays they could have. So, and I talked about being a playmaker. So, they say, hey, it's been about 5 months since you reviewed my gameplay. Since then, I have spent a considerable amount of time grinding comp, only to feel as though I've hit a roadblock. I have some games where I do well, followed by games like this where I don't know what to do and feel out of my depth, similar to when I feel I didn't belong in my rank. I'm not sure if it's my timing or not, but towards the second half of the game, it felt as though all of my angles were being punished. I appreciate all the help you can give. All right, let's see. So let's see if they become more of a playmaker. That was the first step. What rank were they in the first video? They were Gold 3. Here we go. Looking for some path in this way. I like what I'm seeing. Going into the back line to make a play. Nice start. There you go. See, already way more active, like backline pressure, not like sitting around, believing that you can get the kills. Blink meleeing. I mean, all of this is great so far. Straight up. All of this is great. Great start. Ooh, what a hinder. Job to kind of... I do love that you're being active in their backline. This is what I mean about being a playmaker. Like, you're not even necessarily getting kills, but you're definitely forcing them. Like, you forced the hinder. You forced them to go chase you. Winston dove to you. Like, all of this is great. Nice play, good melee. So far, so good. I love that pin by Ryan. Gonna do a comp. They're running normal stuff here. Okay. All right, now you're just sitting here. It's a nice blink melee. Hey, I suck at blink melee, so I respect it. Oh, nice trying to stick. I actually like that play. I thought you had that. Where did that Ryan shatter from? Now I need to see. I'm curious. Okay, that's where Ryan is. I'm gonna slow it down. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes way more sense now. I'm like, huh? Also, I don't know how you missed every shot on the Ana laying down there, but I just saw that. Oh, no. Wait a second. What happened there? Oh, no. Okay, anyway, let's head back here. I've done that too, don't worry. Yeah, I mean, the shatter distance is super long. But anyway. I will say, you're definitely being way more, like, backline aggressive and constantly making plays. This is what we wanted to see, right? When you have the ability to have these good mechanics, you also need to be willing to go make plays. And it very much seems like you've understood that now. A lot more, like, being aggressive and forcing, like, plays to happen. You don't even necessarily need to, like, one-clip everybody, right? You just need to be there and be effective in the team fights that you're having. And that's what we're seeing out of you so far, right? That's what you want to see. So that's good. So you just have to be annoying behind them as Tracer? Well, I mean, I'll pause in a second and talk about what I mean by that. Let's give me a second on this. I'll give it one more team fight, and I'll kind of explain like what that means. Except this is like an endless team fight. Right now, you should start peppering. Yeah, I was going to say, start peppering the Winston while you're waiting for your team here, because if you start to go in and try to make a play, there's a chance they could hinder you. You get one shot by a Sojourn, etc. So I think you want to wait for your team to get back. Okay, now you start engaging. Start peppering whoever you see. Happens to be a Kiriko, which is this is the correct play. Nice kill. Good backline pressure on Ana. Nice blink melee. Nice, good job. Well played. So, back to what you asked. You're like, so you have to be annoying behind them. And like, yes, because the idea of Tracer isn't necessarily going in and getting 50 elims, right? There's going to be games where you don't just have 50 elims. But what you can do, and I think this is the most important part, is make them turn. At any point that you're making them turn to look at you, that is value in itself, right? So if you play Tracer and you just stand with your team and you wait for something to happen, you're never going to find value. But if you can learn how to play in the backline, stay alive, blink around, go for plays, that becomes really annoying to deal against. And that's when supports start to, like, stop focusing on their tanks because they need a peel for the Tracer, etc. That's why, like, when we initially watched them before, it was all about playmaking. It was like, you need to go and use these mechanics you have and prove, like you can win these games by just going in there. And so far, that first round is exactly what we saw. That was playmaking. That was great, a great play. Great job. Couple moments here and there, you know, but like overall, I didn't even have too much feedback on that one because I felt like for the most part, it was good. Good health pack awareness. Good play by Genji. That was a Genji recognizing what you're doing. Honestly, I would say the moment you lost your HP there, you can back away. So what I mean by that is, okay, we got the playmaker part down, right? What I think now is recognizing when you can piece out on a 1v1. You don't have to take every 1v1. That was a situation where you heard the Genji behind you. I don't know if you quite knew that, though. So I'm gonna give you, like, you know, that one's fine. I actually just recently watched, we were watching Lip play Tracer, and one thing I noticed about Lip, too, is that it's okay to use your recall, right? Like, it's okay to use that. And I think sometimes, including myself, I try to, like, play my cooldowns a little bit too much. So the point I'm trying to make is it's okay to recall.
On support.
It fell off the map too. Yeah, you can fall off the map also. Point being is, I think sometimes, like, even myself will get safe with recall. Listen, I'd rather see you survive it than to just, like, sit there and try to, like, use that. I've even started applying that to my Tracer, and I've seen better results. It's just, like, it's such an important cooldown, but now with, like, the new, like, perks especially, like, when you have all these, like, ways to get blinks back, you have more survivability. So before, you could argue, like, yeah, like, with recall, you know, like, you want to save it, you want to be able to make these plays, but now you get 3 blinks back if you use that perk. So why not, right? Like, you can survive way easier, and then you can be back in a team fight a lot quicker. Yep. Nice stick. Good play. Good job. Just an excellent play across the board there, no issues. But I'm glad to hear you've been climbing too. Let's go. Nice kill on Ana. Nice play. Getting a little bit more backline pressure. Nice play. Yeah, I regardless of you win or lose this game, I definitely think you've gotten a lot better at, like, just using your mechanics. Straight up. Like, way more of using your mechanics. It's really nice to see. Eye is itchy now. Wonderful. Also, chat, give me an update on when the OWCS match is back on. We're just, like, watching a match in the meantime. And that's where you need to recognize it's almost done and try to back away and play to live. You're the one that can really touch points safely there. So I would recommend disengaging out. That was one of those rounds where, like, that was kind of a team effort loss, where, like, nothing was really happening, like, across the board. Like, you weren't able to get any kills. Your teammates weren't able to, like, create any kills. So, like, you just kind of end up stuck there. That's kind of just the nature of the beast sometimes on Tracer. Like, if you can't consistently get kills or consistently pressure one of their supports, you're just going to run into, like, a wall sometimes. What I will say is, I would try to be more aggro on supports now. So I think what would be the play now is you have two options, okay? And I'll pause for a second here. There's two options, okay? Either or can work. It just depends what they're doing. One, you can start to pepper their tank. A frustrating thing I have sometimes is if the tank starts to be aggressive, you can start peppering them. And if I'm the tank and I have a Tracer doing that, it gets annoying. It's like I need to deal with a Tracer, but I also can't deal with a Tracer. So if you can't get to their backline because they're playing very defensive and like going for you, like for example, the Genji was peeling on you, start to like pressure their tank a little bit more. And I think you'll start to see better results. If for some reason you don't want to do that play, I would start pressuring their Kiriko instead of their Ana. And the only reason being is because the Ana's been saved a lot recently by Kiriko. So go for the Kiriko, force out cooldowns, and then you have more space. But basically you need to, if you're struggling in this situation, you need to find a hero that you basically can pepper down and force cooldowns out of them if it's not working by just taking regular duels in their backline. So that's where I would kind of recommend that next step. I play a lot of different stuff, to your question. There's the Kiriko. So now, see, this is where, like, yeah, I think now you're having a target priority issue. Like, you're going for the Genji there. I know their Genji got 5, but the point I'm making is, like, if their Genji is playing as well as their Genji's playing right now, you need to start going make similar plays. You can't peel for that Genji as much, nor can you take the 1v1 with the Genji. The Genji's just playing well, right? Sometimes that happens. So now, you start to look for different target priorities. Whether that's pressuring the tank a little bit, whether that's going for their Ana right now, when you know the Kiriko's being more aggressive. But right now, one thing's for sure, your target probably needs to change. Also, in that situation, just reset quicker. Save yourself the time on that one, unless, like, you can get a health pack to give you an extra blink based off of your perks. Yeah. Okay, yep. Now, okay, so everything that's happened, I'm going to pause very quickly. Everything I've seen, this is a perfect time to pause that, too. Ana's your target. Now, I want to kind of show you something here because you're about to see what's going to happen, and I don't know if you saw this from your point of view. So I look at the situation. You're seeing the Ana, right? I see the Ana. But one thing I would pick up on, too, is you see this right here? This is a Genji right here that I think might try to peel. They see you. So what you need to do here is you need to find out a way to outplay this. So what I would do is I would do one blink to the Ana, bait them, and either recall out or blink really far away. I think this Genji's going to peel. If the Genji doesn't peel on your first blink, then you go for the Ana kill. But you need to be prepared for this Genji. This Genji has been falling back to help. So, but you have the right target focus here.
This ends now.
There you go. Genji stayed back. Now you push in again. I would have liked to see you go around the back left side, but I don't mind that either. I get why. Yeah, you've done, and this happens to me on Tracer sometimes too, by the way. They've basically shut you down now from pushing in, and you don't really know where your opener is. I think at that point, just default to helping on the tank and see what happens. I think they peel too heavily. I think you just need to, like, all in their tank now, force their tank to use their cooldowns more frequently, and then at that point, they'll eventually feel like you're not going for them anymore, and that's when you go for them. But right now, they're expecting you to do this, and you need to make that adjustment a little bit quicker. So, when they play this defensive. Good kills, nice. Yeah, I would say do that. All right, we keep at it. Do you always feel like that on Tracer? You can make it work. You just need to also recognize when, like, you need to make your... Like, right now, they're playing very defensive. Until the pre-show, that's what I thought. Yeah, a little bit of a tip, by the way. Some people don't know this. Something I've used it a couple times to win team fights. So the way that it used to work with health packs on Tracer is that you'd have to take a little bit of damage to be able to yoink a health pack. Guess what, chat? You know the perk that gives you the extra blink if you get a health pack? Guess what? You can capture it with full HP. So you can literally grab a health pack to give you an extra blink and take a health pack if you need to. So you like don't like be like, oh, I have no blinks, I can't take the health pack. That perk literally will take a health pack regardless of what your HP at. You're at 175 HP, which is the max HP for Tracer right now, which I don't know why Tracer's here on that map, but guess what happens? Ooh, nice stick. Obviously, they got the kill, but nice job. But yeah, you can take the health pack. So, oh yeah, Tracer has really good perks. I agree. And there you go. Your team's running out of ultimates, so you definitely need to like keep targeting their Ana. They've swapped off to Doom now. Now, don't be afraid to peel back for Doom if this Doom gets really aggressive. Okay? Yep. So don't be afraid of that. I mean, you kind of knew the punch was coming. I think one thing you probably do is and this is something I'm fixing too, it's okay to use recall. I have to remind myself that every time because I try to save that cooldown so much. You pretty much knew the Doom was going for that play. You heard it. A lot was pointing out that the Doom was going for you, and you kind of just looked at him. Been there, done that, so don't worry. There you go. Genji was waiting for your recall. That's why they were standing there. I mean, you had to be on the point. That's totally fine. Oh, blinking to the side's great. I'm just saying, like, the recall's not being used a ton. And it looks like you're probably going to lose this game. Yes, so you lost that game. First of all, listen, I think you've made a huge improvement from the last time I watched you. Last time you were, what, Gold 3 on DPS? This is way better than Gold 3 right now, in my opinion. I think you've come a long way. I think your mechanics are looking better. I think you're being more aggressive. Your problem is where you felt like you ran into a wall or like you said you ran into a roadblock. You got kind of confused by what they were doing. You're like, okay, they're peeling for me, so I'm going to try to pepper them, but you weren't able to pepper them enough. I think at this point you need to be okay with peeling back for a tank. I think if you start to peel back for their tank when they were being aggressive on your backline, that's when you open up the space elsewhere on their tank. Their Genji kind of knew you were doing that because the first round you pretty much dominated their backline. So what you need to do at that point is switch up your strategy. So what happened was they switched up their strategy and played more defensive on you. So rather than you reacting to that and switching up your strategy, you didn't switch strategy. So what I think you need to do now is two things. One, start using recall more. That's something I'm learning too. We have a VOD coming up soon. You can learn from that one also, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Number two, great job on being a playmaker, but now you need to adjust that playmaking. All right, that's your next step. So if you have a game like this where they start to heavily go like backline peel, obviously you can swap heroes too. Like if you wanted to go more like, backline pressure or like something different, that's fine. But if you want to stay on Tracer, you need to make those adjustments quickly. The moment I recognize, and I'm getting better at this recently, the moment I recognize when a team is basically saying, hey, we're going to peel for you, I need to switch to the tank. And it's frustrating because you're not going to see as much value, but you need to at least make them think you're not going to go for that play. And when they loosen up that peel, you can go back to that backline pressure, but you need to be able to make those type of changes. So that's my advice to you on that one, okay? And I know you can do that because I saw you do the playmaker one. Now the next thing is, where is your rank? Here's my take. I'm going to be ambitious on this one. I think they've climbed quite a bit. I think the last time we watched them, when they were in gold, like it was because they weren't using their mechanics to be able to climb. I'm going to throw something on the wall here, and it's either going to work or it's not. I'm going to go Diamond 3. I think you've climbed enough, and now that you've got stuck in this situation where you feel like you're getting stuck, this game very much reminds me of like those Diamond Master games where you basically get stuck in these scenarios where you can't really do anything and you're just basically there the whole time, right? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. I would say probably Diamond 3. There's a chance that, they could be in Plat, high Plat, and like they just get into a lobby like that, but I'm going to go with Diamond 3. And their new rank is Plat 2. I was way off, but we'll take it, okay? Listen, I read that as Diamond 3. Plat 2, we'll take it. You know what? Plat 2s and Diamond 3s end up in the same lobby sometimes, so we'll take it. Either way, to go from Gold 3 all the way to Plat 2, that is still really good. Very good climb. I mean, that's almost a full rank, and more than likely you're starting to get into those Diamond lobbies now with there's a range you're having. The next step is just doing what we said there and taking that next step, because I think you're very, 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 very capable of that. So the next step is just to basically apply some of that knowledge even more so, and I think you'll be in a good spot, all right? So that's more than a full rank. Hey, listen, it is a full rank. It's like over a full rank, right? It's like 5. But seriously, great job, great play. I mean, what else can we say besides you've definitely made improvement, and I still think you can make improvement. The mechanics are there. Now it's about the in-game adjustments, all right? So if you like the video, make sure to like button, subscribe to all the YouTubes. If you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. You want to submit your own Spectate and look in the description below. That's what my Discord is. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat below the webcam. Also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.